But before we go, I wanted to just know just some hot takes, your takes on some things that are happening in the world. I mean, what's got you, feeling away? And look, I'm watching the news just like you. I'm living it. I'm just curious to know what's brewing in there as you look at the world. There's Diddy out there these days. We talked about DEI. We talked about we've got a president that is I'll leave it at that.
Way to go high. Way to go high.
Yeah. I stopped.
Okay. There are a lot of things swirling around. One, I don't think that the Diddy doc is over. I think there's going to be more episodes.
Do you think 50 is working on them, or are these going to come from other producers?
I think 50 is quietly plotted. I think if you see the success of this one and you're 50, you know that another one would go off.
Yeah,
because that all we really did was cover some stuff that hasn't been as talked about. There's plenty of the other stuff that we knew about, and they didn't get everybody. So that there's plenty of people who spoke on Diddy in the past that weren't in the documentary.
Weren't in it.
So there's still more subject. That was a crazy. I mean, I've talked about this already, but it's wild. The documentary was so thorough, they didn't even really need reenactments.
They did not.
Do you know what I mean? Normally, like we weren't there for Civil War. So in Civil War, they got the reenactment.
Right,
they're like,
right,
you got me, right?
Yeah.
But then this one, they were like, no, I was there. He did it to me. Yeah. Like that's insane. That is terrifying. So I do think there will be more episodes coming. I won't necessarily say that I have any real designs on what's going to happen in 2026 midterms wise, but I do know, and I've had conversations with friends about this, that like more so than any sort of like blue wave, I think that people genuinely, as corny as it may sound, they need like a new wave. Like I think you see the success of Zoran, you see the success of people who have won these special elections and small races and everything, and you see that what they were running on was something that wasn't just I'm not Trump. And
do you think that our democracy is broken? I mean, a lot of people this was part of this election, change. It wasn't just change. It's like, let's tear it up. Government is so broken that we should just tear it all to the ground and start from scratch.
I mean, I do think as it functions now, in the way that we have let corporations and tech become so like quilted in to everything that goes into politics, that part of it does feel broken. I think that there were a lot of laws, there were a lot of things in place for a reason, and I think reducing those regulations and lowering those barriers and making it so much, making it so easy to confuse the conversation is part of why we're at where we're at. Even when you watch the news, like even when you go to another country and watch the news, they just say what happened. They don't really have personalities like we do. They're like, all right, the bus hit another bus, and two buses have been hit. and then they're done talking. And then they might cut to commercial. They go to another story, something like that. It's only here where you have the person looking at the camera telling you how to feel about the buses and telling you like what it means for one bus to crash into another bus and telling you why that is the failing of democracy, that these two buses can crash into each other. And so you're like, at a certain point, you're like, what does this even have to do with? And so I think that there are aspects of how we function as government and how our democracy works that are broken, which have led to the disillusionment of the people. But I don't think that it's anything that we can't come back from. I think that there just need to be more, this is like probably not the most charitable way to put it, but there just need to be more spines all around. I think that there's a lot of like Dems consistently fail to capitalize on some of the just pure L's that Republicans take. And that's what I mean about like a new wave. I think that at a certain point, you need to either make room for or start nurturing the people who actually see the vision in a different way. Like these institutions are, they are fragile and they exist in so much as we are willing to protect them. And so if the people that are supposed to be standing guard aren't willing to do that, then it's a lot like speeding. It's like, you're not supposed to do it, but I guess if you don't get caught, it's fine, you know?
Well, the beauty of who you are and how you're showing up in the world is that you're doing comedy with spine and with information. And we're at a stage in life where, you know, you kind of have to fool people into eating their vegetables.
Sure.
I mean, and you're doing that at so many different levels. Finding a way to tell the story in a way where you're teaching and making people laugh at the same time, but also making points that get a whole generation and a whole sort of constituency of people thinking about issues that they can just put away too easily. And for that, you know, I mean, we're just, you know, excited about the comic, the entertainer that you're becoming.
Well, thank you.
Because now's the time that we need people talking with a great spine about these issues, and you're making it happen.
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching, because you post stuff up, and then you're like, you watch?
Yeah.
That's wild. You know, like I think that it's been a real blessing of even the tour is getting to meet the people who watch and see what those things mean to them and everything. So I'm I can't thank everyone and God enough for everything that is happening. And I just feel incredibly blessed, and I'm having so much fun, and I hope everybody else is having fun along the way too.